What's up, guys? We're going to be having some F-84F gameplay here. We're running this thing on 8 minutes of fuel. This is the map Rocky Pillars to show that this thing, if you actually suffer through spading, can be a credible air-to-air fighter. A climb at 10 to 15 degrees, the Assault aircraft can handle. Don't put it to 20, it will not accelerate. It's not fun that way. Here, after a couple minutes of climbing, I've reached 4,000 meters. That's the point I generally consider like the minimum engagement altitude for this aircraft. Every target you want to engage with this thing, you have to have an energy advantage on. It will not move if you don't have an energy advantage on an enemy, and you will not succeed. You'll understand if you play this why Deathfin does not like this airplane. The F-86 can do everything this airplane does, but better. Below me, we have pretty common formation at like jet level tiers where you get this sort of wagon wheel where friendlies and enemies, but primarily enemies, are turning, either trying to save themselves or engage your friendlies. So we have a pocket of a few sabers. There's an A4E, it's not really a threat, honestly. And then they're being engaged by some friendlies, and I just find a moment where their tail is towards me, they're doing things preoccupied, and I just turn that altitude into energy and make a pass. Questionable gunnery, but I take part of his wing off at one point. He hits the ground. Other guy hits the ground. This is one of those airplanes that, like, you have to do good, not for your own sake, but for your team. This isn't a plane you want to carry a match in at all. You pretty much need a good team to also be successful in this, along with using very disciplined hit and run tactics. And there's a pocket of enemies behind me that will eventually disappear, and then we'll find our final target, which will engage this match in just a few minutes, but I'm turning some speed and altitude. And here, as I level off, I kind of wind up that dynamo, try to establish a solution where I could compile some energy and then kind of unleash it. And I find the Saber trapped by a Yak. What is it? Yak 11. It's an F-86A, so he would eventually outrun that Yak 11. And he's also an A5, so he's especially more maneuverable than me, and I just run him down. Set myself up to just run down this Saber. Between 600 and 800 kilometers an hour, this thing can kind of maneuver as long as I don't overshoot. Like, I have room to work with. Yeah, I'm kind of all over the place. So you can see I dip under 500 kilometers an hour, and this thing just doesn't want to move. But the Saber essentially reverses to try and counter the Yak 11. Comes in front of my guns, I get a pilot snipe, and he's out the game. That would essentially be the conclusion of this match. I don't get my hands on another enemy, and my team gets the win. Here we go into the next match. I've essentially overflown the main pocket of enemies. And we come upon this F-2H Banshee. Technically, he's already, I'm totally third-partying him. He's already being engaged by an Arado and an F-84G, but I can eliminate him to make my team more efficient and actually get some wins, which, when your team wins, you tend to do better. It's the first time I'm willing to make, so let's wait for the moment to kind of pounce on this guy. Build up the dynamo, wait till the last moment, and then just drop the nose, and this thing just goes in a dive. I know that, with the F-2H in the position he's in, he won't really be able to react to me. Put some rounds on him. I get the assist, which is fine. Enough for me. Now, we just have to worry about not flying too close to their airfield and getting shot down by a SAM, or any other enemies that might approach us. And it turns out they will. There's some Sabers, a Saber on the horizon, and F-9F out there as well. And here I have kind of a choice. I can either stay and cover my friendlies, or I can fly away off somewhere else. I stay to cover my friendlies when this F-86 starts cashing in his energy for a little bit of altitude as he tries to do essentially a high yo-yo on the Arado down there, and I think, well, if he's slow enough, I'll go for him. And here's where I start making a mistake. I get a hit on the Saber, and then I try not to play to this aircraft strength, which is get into an energy fighting situation at a low airspeed. And you can just see, the Saber is able to stick to this climb. Had I dropped the air brake and the flaps earlier, before I went under like 400 kilometers an hour, I could have reversed this and been closer to the 6 of the aircraft. I still would have taken damage, but this would have been a more clean reversal. However, it works out in my favor. Now it's my turn to press the attack, push the Saber towards the deck. And my friendlies start coming my way. You'll see when I look up here. And they have a Saber of their own. It's an A model, probably an A5. So I kind of do what I did at the end of the last match. I just run this guy down. Some good hits. Don't hit my friendly. Avoid the temptation of reversing to kill the enemy behind me. Press the attack straight on, shoot up this A5 Saber, and he's done for the match. I noticed that if I had tried to reverse Mr. Sundeer in the F-86F, he would have shot at me instead of the F-84, most likely. This guy's hit up pretty bad. I can shoot him down here, I mean he won't be a threat anymore. So I do so. Take off a flap, loses lift in one of his wings, hits a tree, hits the ground. Pretty simple kind of cleanup here. There's an F-86F, which at first makes me think I'm kind of trapped, but he doesn't press the attack for some reason, he just kind of loiters. There's also this F-80 over here that I never seen. Poor F-80. Pressed one head on, missed all my shots. I don't want to get hit up again, I already have damage. This thing doesn't take damage very well. Then I realized, well, if I can get one of these guys, it could make my life easier. As my teammate runs away. Press the head on with this F-80, do some really good predictive reading, he's done. That essentially would be the end of this match and the video. This would end up being a loss. After taking off, I get jumped by a Saber. Not the position to be in. But I hope this video demonstrates that if you're willing to suffer through it, the F-84F is a perfectly usable airplane in Air RB.